What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another polish pickup video. This month we have the theme Tropical Forests, and it's got a fantastic mix of colors, as you'll see this month. To just kind of start off on our general housekeeping for this video, if you are new to polish pickup, if you're new to indie polish, hello and welcome. Polish Pickup is a monthly collaboration featuring dozens of makers who fans vote in now on our website, polishpickup.com, on what the theme is going to be. We take the top submissions from fans and we put, I think it's 4 or 5, and you get to vote on what 2 months from now theme is going to be. So for this month, we're going to have voting for August, and that's only because July is our rewind month. As we get closer to July, I will go over rewind, what all that is, just that way I'm not clogging up the introduction for this video here. I know a lot of you are like, okay, I do want to hear the updates, but I also want to get to the swatches too. So keeping this as short and sweet as possible. So Polish Pickup, the Facebook group, if you have been around for a hot minute, Polish Pickup's Facebook groups, both the BST and chat and the regular Facebook group, those aren't going away. We are just moving the voting onto the website. That way it's a little more open to everyone. You don't have to have a certain social media to do that. And you can join that, and or if you wanted to stay off Facebook, your preference on that. The brands that you are seeing for this month on this video are the brands that sent to me so that I could represent their polishes through my channel and or through my photography that you may or may not see on the website. There are quite a few more makers that are not featured on this super juicy, awesome video. So I am going to show you the polishes first, per usual, and then we're going to do the non-polished items at the end. And before we get to that, I do have some giveaway winners to shame from last month. Every month on my Polish Pickup videos, I do choose 10 random winners to win a Polish Pickup gift code to the shop. And all you have to do is leave a comment on this video. All I ask is that you stay positive. This is a unicorn farting rainbows channel. Be positive to each other, to yourself, and may or may not me, but mostly to just the general populace of the comments section. I'm going to have the giveaway running on this video until Tuesday, April 29th at 6 p.m. Central Time. This is baseball season for my oldest. I don't think there's a game at that time. If there is, I will happily leave a pinned comment that I'm not home yet, because we usually get home pretty late. Or if there's any delays, I will update you all that way. But winners will be announced through a pinned comment on this video. And those of you who entered my giveaway last month and you did not email me back, if you were a winner, I'm going to thoroughly shame you right around my head here. All you have to do is just email me at thepolishedmage@hotmail.com. I'm more than happy to get you your code to you. Shaming is just in good fun. The codes don't expire, so no worries on that front. The last part of housekeeping I want to mention is my social media employee, kind of gig with Polish Pickup. I do run the Polish Pickup TV channel, PPUTV. It is linked in the description box on this video. Go subscribe to that. Every month I am doing a Meet the Maker series where I am interviewing a maker that is featured in Polish Pickup. And this month's maker is awesome. At the time that I'm actually face recording this right now, I just got off of that Zoom call with her, and it was magical. I didn't want to spoil the maker last month when I had you all for last month's PPU video, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. I have Mia of Kathleen & Co. that I am chatting with. So head on over there. By the time I get this video up, I will have possibly this video already up. So if not, then go ahead and just go subscribe over there and just anticipate the awesomeness that is that interview. So this month we have the Tropical Forest theme, and I have lots of polishes to show you all. So I'm going to quit yammering and let's dive right into the swatches. Starting off this hike with Ahmya Cosmetics. This is Jungle Juice, described as a tri-thermal base shifting from light red wine when cold to a coral orange when warm to a hot pink when hot. This is adorned with gold, green, and pink flakes. It's inspired by the Chinese Hibiscus painted lady. Price is $13.50, and there's a cap of 250 bottles. This is a fantastic formula. It was super easy to build up to opacity. I think anything past 2 coats is too much. I think my camera's kind of freaking out as this does lean a touch on the more neon side. So there is a third color in the in-between state there. It's just being really subtle on my photos. But overall, I do think the thermal shift itself is what I would consider more on the subtle side too. Baroness X Rushfoil is a yellow lime base with turquoise shimmer, pink to gold micro flake, and pink gold green blue iridescent flakes. This one's inspired by Crotons. Price is $13.50 and there's no cap. Rushfoil has a true curly formula. It's pretty squishy on the brushstrokes here, so I think, again, 2 coats is all you need. If you go up to a 3rd coat, I think you'll have too much polish on your nails and you'll probably get some dragging. So do 2 coats. If you have a super prominent natural free edge that's more on the whiter side, you might want to use a blurring base, your choice. BCB, May the Forest Be With You, is a bright teal curly base with a strong green, blue, purple shimmer and black flakes. This one's inspired by the Poison Dart Frog. Price is $13.75 and there's a cap of 400 bottles. This is kicking off one of my top picks for this video. I have quite a few of them this month. This theme is so good. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 light coats. This is one of those polishes that you will hit opacity on the 2nd coat, but if you're like me and you appreciate that plumper type of feel, go up to the 3rd coat. This is glowy good in person and very much representative of what you're seeing on my full hand shot in my photos here. It is very much a flattering, ridiculously flattering color. You might want to use a glitter smoother because the flakes do give you some texture. Beaux Rêves Toucan Tango is a bright coral red base with pink to green shifting shimmer. This one's $12.50 and there is no cap, and this one is inspired by its namesake. I know this is going to get so incredibly skewed across monitors. I do agree with the official description. It is a bright coral red. There's a peach vibe to it, and it's got a bit of an orange, somewhat lean in person, but it's more red than what you see here. Not quite the traffic cone you're seeing on the screen here. So I tried to color correct my photos and that was a big fail. So please note, bright, eye-searing neon coral red. This is creamy smooth on application. I think 2 coats and a glossy top coat is more than enough. Bee's Knees Lacquer Slithery Little Snake is a muted seafoam base with glowy green shimmer and a scattering of silver light reflective glitter. This one's inspired by the white-lipped pit viper. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 500 bottles. This is another one of my top picks this month. It is glowy good in person. I think the buildup here between that 2nd and 3rd coat gives off the best representation of what I'm talking about. It is just so packed full of shimmer. There is a touch of texture from the reflective glitters here. I chose to do 3 thin coats. It does have a very plumping formula to it, so just be thin. You may want to use a blurring base, your preference, but it's almost a pseudo opacity type of buildup. Bluebird Lacquer, Because I Got Hibiscus, is a neon pink base with green, purple, pink shifting micro flakies and shimmer. This one's inspired by pink hibiscus, one of my favorite flowers too. This one's $12.50 and there's no cap. This has an excellent, rich formula to it. It also leans very heavy on the curly side, meaning it has that super plumping feel to the formula. Again, anything past 2 coats is going to be way too much and you're going to have that dragging with the over buildup. So do 2 coats and a good glossy top coat. This one dries down pretty flat, not necessarily warranting a glitter smoother, but you want to do something that's going to help plump it up. This is going to get skewed across screens as well, so just in case, it is one of those ridiculously flattering types of hot pinks. Cadillacquer Pouch Potato is a dusty grayish blue curly base packed with bigger particle shimmer, shifting from a deeper pinkish red to orange to yellow to green in extreme angles, and with matte white glitters in various sizes. This one's inspired by tree kangaroos. I don't know what that is, and it sounds truly frightening. This one's $14 with a cap of 635 bottles. Pouch Potato has a fantastic jelly type of formula to it, very easy to build to opacity. I will strongly suggest do 3 super thin coats. If you have a very prominent free edge and you prefer to go to 2 coats, you may want to use a blurring base, your choice. Use a glitter smoother too, because this one has a bit of texture from the glitters. Cameo Colors A Frog of Glass is a buildable baby blue curly base with a touch of holographic sparkle, blue to purple and green shimmers, full of blue to green shifting larger particle shimmer and yellow micro glitter. This one's inspired by the San Jose Cochran Frog. Price is $12.50 and there's a cap of 250 bottles. Frog of Glass, I do agree with the official description. It is very curly-like. We are seeing this plumping type of formula going on here too. I waffled whether or not to do a third coat on this. I'm not upset with the third coat because I don't know, I feel like it plumped up too much. So personally, I would suggest 2 normal coats and a glossy top coat. This is a softer type of buildup. Chamaeleon Glowing Morpho is a baby blue base with pink to orange iridescent flakes and a scattering of tiny silver holographic glitters, and it glows in the dark. This one's inspired by, of course, its namesake. Price is $14, and there is a cap of 300 bottles. Glowing Morpho is what I would describe as being one of those milkier type of jellies. I think you'll see a touch of your smile line, regardless of falsies or a natural free edge, what have you, when you build it up. I don't know, it's really soft in person, but I do think you'll see a touch of a peekaboo effect. My full hand shot here gives you a really good idea of that. I'm going to suggest 3 thin coats or 2 normal coats and a good glossy top coat. There's a touch of thirstiness from those flakes, so there you go. And then full disclosure, I do charge my glow-in-the-dark polishes for photos with a nail lamp to get it nice and charged. Chloris Secret Falls is a deep red jelly base with purple, pink, orange shifting magnetic effect. This one's inspired after Secret Falls or Purple Falls. Price is $13.50 and there's a cap of 400 bottles. This is another one of my top picks. It is so vampy good in person. It has a fantastic formula. It is just bananas on the opacity. I'm going to suggest 2 super thin coats to build it up. That's all you need. And then a good glossy top coat to maximize that gorgeous gemstone-like effect. It is just, I don't know, this one's really, really pretty and definitely one of my top picks I've swatched, I think, thus far this year. Cracked Polish Pink Underwing is a gray-brown base with pink flakes, pink shimmer, and holographic pink glitters. This one's inspired by adorable pink underwing moths. Price is $13, and there's a cap of 1,000 bottles. This is what I would describe as being a kind of crelly type of formula, but it does lean heavily on the jelly side in that depending on where you stop at your coats, it's going to be pretty different. So some of you may want to stop at 2 coats if you prefer a softer finish, but that more plump appearance, more opacity, I would suggest a 3rd thin coat. You're going to need to use a glitter smoother, a really thin coat of that, just to kind of smooth out the glitters here. This has a very delicate type of rainbow-like sparkle in person that I think didn't translate that well on my photos. So for that sparkle factor, refer to the video portion. Cupcake Polish Stinking Corpse is a deep red jelly base with purple, pink, orange shifting magnetic effect. This one's $13.50 with no cap, and it's inspired after the corpse lily. This inspiration and this color and that Chloris as well, both of them are just, I don't know, I'm kind of, I dare say, already ready for Halloween. But anyways, Stinking Corpse has a wonderful formula going on here too. I'm going to suggest 2 normal coats. I went in normal for myself, which is a touch heavy-handed, and it was perfect. Dry time was excellent too, so it's very forgiving in that regard. And make sure you're finished with a good glossy top coat. If you are a vampy lover, this is another one that's excellent. Cuticula Peacock Plume is a bright cerulean blue jelly base with pink, red, purple shifting shimmer, aqua to blue shifting glass flakes, and metallic fuchsia flakes. This one's inspired by, of course, peacock feathers. Price is $13.50 and there is no cap. This is one of my top picks this month too, of course. It is blue, it's perfect and pretty, and it hits opacity somewhat on that 2nd coat, but I'm going to urge you to take it up 1 more coat, go in real thin, and just slowly build this one up. That way you can see the mosaic of the shimmer in the background and the complementing flakes in the foreground. It is very, very pretty. I will also suggest using a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat because we've got, as you guessed it, some texture from all of that flaky goodness. Dom has Harley Noticeable. This is a light blue crelly base with assorted red glitters and a dusting of red to orange shimmer. This one's inspired after the Harlequin Poison Frog. Price is $13.50 and there's a cap of 600 bottles. Dom always makes some of the most satisfying acrylic type of formulas. This one's no exception. I'm going to suggest 1 light coat just to kind of build a foundation and then a 2nd normal coat to kind of even everything out. Anything past that is going to be too much polish on the nail. Finish with a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat and you're good to go. Danglefoot Monstera Deliciosa is an emerald green base with green to teal shimmer and pink reflective glitters. This one is inspired after giant Monstera leaves. Price is $13.50 and there's a cap of 250 bottles. This is very sparkly in person. It's what I would classify as a standard reflective glitter finish. I chose to stop at 2 coats. I know a third coat would have definitely deepened out that green color, but it's very plumping in person. So honestly, I really think 2 normal coats was it, and use a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Dreamland Lacquer, Eleanor Doesn't Want to Talk to You, is a thermal that goes from, and this is my official description going on here, it is very deep jewel toned purple when it's cold. It'll go over to a very deep type of vibrant pink when it's warm, and then it's loaded up with these warm color shifting flakes. This is creamy, smooth on application. Honestly, 2 coats is all you need here. And you may want to use a glitter smoothing top coat to smooth out those flakes if your top coat of choice is on the thinner side. Your choice there. I personally, my top coat needs to be thinned a little because I've refilled the bottle a couple of times and it was just fine. This is very dramatic in person, and for color accuracy, because I know my photos are kind of blowing out a little bit, please refer to the ice water and my full hand shot. Ethereal Lacquer Dream is a milky aqua base with soft and glowy pink, orange to gold shimmer. This one's $13.50 with a cap of 600, and it's inspired after a hidden lagoon in a lush forest. This is also one of my top picks this month. I actually just finished swatching Megan's new collection that's dropping May 9th. And I dare say this kind of goes along with the theme too. It's very pretty and glowy and just clean looking. It's one of those crellies that will look just a touch uneven and slightly patchy if you go in heavy-handed at 2 coats like what I did, but it's one of those trust the process type things that when you do your glossy top coat, it'll smooth it over. Glam Polish Shimmering Wings is a blurple jelly base with green to purple aurora shimmer, black flakes, and galaxy glitter. This one's $14 with a cap of 250 bottles, and you have probably guessed it, it is also one of my top picks this month. This is beautiful in person. At angles in shaded lighting, at the most extreme angles, I should say, there is a blue glow to that shimmer. It is very, very pretty. I tried capturing it on my macro shot. I don't think I really did it justice, but I still liked how my photos came out of it. It is just really flattering. It's cool toned, and the shimmer itself just kind of warms it up. Very much mermaid type of vibes going on here. For opacity, I'm going to suggest 2 normal. Some of you may stop there, but I think quite a few of you with any wide load nails or long free edge like myself go up to 3 coats with it. Glisten and Glow Bromeliads is a coral jelly base with orange undertones loaded with color shifting shimmer that shifts green, yellow, purple, pink. This one is inspired after its namesake in the Everglades. Price is $13.50 and there's no cap. This has a super smooth jelly formula. I thought it was perfect at 2 coats, even though it is a touch on the softer side, but I didn't see a need to go up past that. Again, I think it's a softer type of super shimmer finish. Glisten Glow is also offering up their glossy top coat this month. I have mentioned this on the channel tons and tons of times over the years. It is a fantastic top coat. I have used it extensively for swatching, so it passes my swatcher's dry time test, and it also doesn't smear stamping, so definitely gets my stamp of approval. The glossy top coat I'm putting over the 2 coats of the Bromeliads polish, and you can see how glossy and pretty it is. You can grab that one at no cap for $9.50, and you can see the full hand shot here of the polish itself. Really warm, but still very interesting against my skin tone. I personally didn't feel like I needed to shy away from it. Glisten and Glow is also offering up a cuticle remover and oil duo this month. I'm going to just real quick demonstrate here the wonderful progress I have made on growing out my free edge. I'm working my tail off on practicing what I preach and making sure that I'm babying my nails, wearing gloves when I do dishes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting some pretty good results here. So I'm removing the glossy top coat and my Nourish nail base coat going on here. I just removed that, and we're going to do a real fast maintenance routine. This is usually what I do once a week. So I start off with cuticle remover. Glisten and Glows is very gentle on your hands. Those of you who have followed along my nail journey over the last couple of years, you know I am eczema prone on my hands, and I'm very quick to break out with specific products, what have you. And this one has not broken me out. So something to consider if you do have sensitive skin. I know everyone's different. This one is also unscented too. So what you'll need to do is some of y'all know the drill at this point, and you know I'm repeating myself, but when you use cuticle remover, you want it to go up against your cuticles. Try to prevent it from going on your skin as much as possible. You see, I'm just kind of manipulating it over the nail plate here. And then with Glisten and Glows, you want to give it at least 60 seconds, and you'll see it kind of get a little tacky. And then use a cuticle stick like what I have here, and or one of those metal shovels. Just go in super gentle. I know it looks like I'm being super rough on the video, but it's just sped up. Be very careful and just gently push it back, and it'll get all that excess little goopy stuff out and clean up. Now, when you're done with this, you want to rinse off with soap and water, scrub it down real good. I use a cheapy nail brush to kind of help speed up the process when I'm washing it all off, and just to, you know, kind of cover my bases there. At this point, I have clipped things down, I have filed, and I've also put back my top coat and my Nourish base coat, and I'm good to go. And then I'm using the oil, which we will go over the scent of at the end of the video for the non-polished sniff tests. We'll talk about that then. Despite how much the falsies make me feel pretty on my photos and whatnot, I should say, I do have a goal of maybe trying to do swatching back on my nails, probably maybe in the next couple of months, if I can get this growth to keep going, and then we can start seeing maybe less falsies. I don't know. It is a goal to have, a noble one, but I know I do have to be reasonable with myself if I tend to break up a bunch of nails. But anyways, this is a fantastic remover, especially if you have sensitive skin. Great Lakes Lacquer, Your Orchid Tariffs Are Killing Me, is described as a ghostly, almost non-existent gray base filled with a purple to red to orange shifting shimmer. This one's inspired by white orchids. Price is $14, and there's no cap. Orchid has a very creamy type of jelly formula to it. It's pretty heavy on application. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 super thin coats with it. I chose to do thin coats because I felt like it was just maximize the shimmer on my nails. Your preference on that, if you want to do 2 normal, just be mindful of your brush strokes to prevent any potential patchiness. And then make sure you also use a good glossy top coat, as this will dry down quite flat. Jen and Berry's Booty Call is a sheer pale periwinkle base with glowy blue to purple shimmer, scattered tiny pink to gold flakes, and loads of holographic flakes. This one's inspired by an adult male mandrill who has a colorful rear end to help others follow them through the forest. This one's $13.75 with a cap of $4.45, and kudos to Jen for that clever as hell inspiration. Booty Call is very glowy, and I'm going to suggest 3 light coats or 2 normal coats. I did hit pretty good coverage on that second coat, so your choice there, and a good glossy top coat to help plump this up. It is very glowy in person. Kathleen & Co. Tropical Lagoon is a teal jelly base with silver to green to aqua shifting shimmer and scattered holographic effect. This one's $13.50 with a cap of 500 bottles. Tropical Lagoon is what I would describe as being a jelly type of finish. It's a softer type of buildup overall, and I think if you have a really prominent free edge and or falsies, whatever you got going on, I think you might see just the tiniest bit of a smile line peekaboo in brighter lighting situations. On my full hand shot here, you can kind of see through my falsies, so you can see it's not dramatic and say, you know, a straight up sheer, but it is a lighter type of finish overall. KB Shimmer Lei One on Me is a glowy, shimmery coral base with shimmer that shifts from an orange-hued coral to a salmon pink to a twinkling gold and glows a yellow-orange before fading to a soft, pale yellow. This one's inspired by tropical plumeria flowers. I love those too. This is $13 with a cap of 700 bottles. It is just bananas how flattering this one was on me, and I was shocked because typically warm peachy colors like this typically will wash out against myself, but not the case here. This is so pretty. So medium to deep skin tones, don't shy away from this one. It's very, very lovely. I would classify this as being a straight up duochrome in that it is very much like that peach to orange type of vibe at more extreme angles and shaded lightings, like what you're seeing in my macro shot here. And then again, full disclosure, I do charge my glow in the dark polishes with a nail lamp to get that glow to just kind of kickstart it. Lumen Electric Jaguar is a blackened purple base, I had to, with a high voltage red to green to gold multi-chrome shift with a sparkle that catches the light. This one's inspired by a wild jaguar shifting and moving through the jungle with fierce power. This one's $13 with no cap. This is like my top pick, like top pick. This one and probably the Colores are like fighting for first place of my top picks this month. This is so shifty in person. It's vampy, yes, but the shimmer, there's a couple of like green shifts that I was trying to get some acrobatics to catch on my macro shots. This is so very pretty. If you like super shifty, deep type of multichromes, definitely get this one. And that's saying as somebody who doesn't typically gravitate towards dark colors like this. It is quite opaque and rich on application, so I'll suggest 2 coats or 3 thin coats, your preference, and a glossy top coat. Lurid on the Prowl is a reddish purple jelly base with vibrant copper to gold shimmer. This one's $14.50 with a cap of $600. This is another top pick for me, and it is on the jellier side in terms of opacity. You will hit a decent coverage on the second coat, but personally, I thought that third thin coat plumped it out and maximized that shimmer. Like, to me, it looked a certain way at the second coat, but the third coat just, I don't know, it almost went like straight metallic with how the shimmer just kind of packed on there. It is very, very pretty in person. And even though it's got a warm type of glow to it, I still thought it popped very well against myself. This will also dry on flat, so use a good glossy top coat. MJ Lacquer Talk to the Feathers is a Tiffany green curly base with color shifting chameleon and UCC flakes, aurora shimmer, and holographic copper glitters. This one's inspired by tropical parrots. Price is $13.50 and there's a cap of 250 bottles. Talk to the Feathers has a beautiful creamy type of formula to it. It is very opaque and very easy to build up, as you saw in that second coat there. That's all you need. You may want to use a glitter smoother because it has quite a bit of thirstiness and a touch of texture from the flakes. Easy peasy application. So 2 coats, glitter smoother, and a glossy top coat. Monarch Lacquer Pink Canopy is a sheer green, teal, purple Aurora base loaded with various sizes of pink glitter. This one's $13.50 with no cap. So Pink Canopy is intended to be a sheer topper. So I chose to use a very neutral type of gray cream to kind of demonstrate that beautiful shimmer going throughout here. And of course, on the Willet Topper segment, you'll see it over black too. You can wear this alone, but again, this was 100% super highlighted by the maker that it is a topper, not intended to be worn alone. So just following instructions here, but if you wear it by itself, it is completely clear other than the shimmer and the glitter. This is glitter perfectly suspended throughout the base. I did not have to do any fishing whatsoever. I had an excellent array on my nails. And for the sake of photos, I do try to be as uniform as possible. So I just used the glitters that were on the neck of the bottle. So no fishing or super shaking, anything like that. This completely transforms your cream base, and it's a pretty nifty topper in my opinion. You will need a glitter smoother for those glitters. Night Owl Lacquer Feels Like Falling is a bright cyan base filled with glowy shimmer that shifts green, aqua, blue, violet, and holographic dust. This one's inspired by tropical waterfalls. Price is $13 and there is no cap. You could probably guess at this point what I'm about to say. This is another one of my top picks. It's ridiculously glowy in person and medium to deep skin tones. This is going to pop so well against yourself too. My full hand shot shows off. I'm tooting my own horn here. I know that. How good it looks on me. I really, really liked this on me. I think 2 to 3 coats is going to be the best. 3 thin, like what I did, or 2 normal, your preference, and then plump it up with a thicker glossy top coat. Painted Polish Feelin' Froggy is a silver and gold metallic flaky in a vampy teal jelly base. This one's inspired by a tropical tiger frog. Price is $13 and there is no cap. This is another one of my top picks this month. It's pretty on the video. Yes, I recognize that. And I thought my swatches came up pretty good of it, but in person, it's just, I don't know. There's something about all those little metallic flakes amongst that deep base. It's very pretty. It's almost a 1-coat wonder, almost. I'll still suggest 2 thin coats, a glitter smoother, and a glossy top coat. Pampered Polishes Let's Flamingle is a pink leaning peach crelly base with matte black flakes. Per usual, Timberland always makes these really creamy, smooth polishes that have a true crelly base to it. I do agree with that. And they're quick to build up to opacity. I'm going to suggest 2 normal coats for this. Dry time was excellent, so no need to get particular with any type of longer wait time. And possibly a glitter smoother, your choice on that. But overall, I thought my gloopy or glossy top coat at the time I was swatching was just fine to smooth it out. Paradox Polish Amazon Orchid is a duochrome of lavender and magenta dosed with a linear holographic effect and scattered holographic flakes. This one's inspired by its namesake. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 300 bottles. This is really pretty in person. It's quite glowy. I think my full hand shot here in just a moment kind of represents that a little bit better than what I'm describing. It is neutral on the base itself and how it looks, but as you build it up to opacity, that shimmer kind of takes over that strong purpley type of glow. And then of course in brighter lighting situations, you'll see that gorgeous holographic effect that is in a super strong linear fashion, like what you see in my macro shot here. Penelope Loose brings us Aurora Azul. This is a blue to purple magnetic with a purple to gray in the background. This one's inspired by birds of Brazilian tropical forests. Price is $13.50 and there's a cap of 1,000 bottles. This is creamy, smooth, wonderful application on the formula and just, I don't know, it was so satisfying, especially on that second coat, and it is strongly self-leveling. This also has that beautiful jewel toned like effect when you go in with a velvet magnet like what I did here, and it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. This one was very pretty in person too. I will strongly suggest only 2 coats and a glossy top coat. Rogue Hibiscus is a strong blurple shimmer with a magenta to purple magnetic shift. This one is inspired after Purple Hibiscus. Price is $13 and there's no cap. This also has a ridiculously dense, super smooth formula to it. I chose to stop at 2 coats. I went in a touch thin on the first coat and then more normal to myself on the second coat, kind of piling it on there, and no issues with dry time or anything like that to report. So you can absolutely apply it like that. This is really neat in that the magnetic pigment is that gorgeous purpley, pinky type of fuchsia. And it's just, I don't know, it's a really cool contrast. Royal Lee Enchanted Elytra is a purple-leaning fuchsia base with red to gold microflake shimmer and green to aqua shifting crystal flakes. This one is inspired by the rainbow leaf beetle. Price is $13.75 and there's no cap. Elytra has a strong, very dense type of opaque jelly application to it. I once again waffled on this one, whether or not I was going to do 3 coats. After going in for the 3rd coat, I decided I would have to say, if you do 3 coats, because it is pretty different than stopping at 2, do it really, really thin, because this is a very dense, not in a bad way, type of formula. So your choice if you want to do 2 normal or 3 ultra thin coats. I think you will need a glitter smoothing top coat. There was quite a bit of thirstiness with this, so on my swatches and my full hand shot, you are seeing glitter smoother and glossy top coat together. Sassy Sauce Hot Damn Anthurium is a bright red with pink copper gold shift. This one's inspired after a tropical forest, particularly the anthurium flower. This one's $13.50, and hell yes, this is also one of my top picks this month. This color, weirdly enough, at least on my monitor here, is coming off color accurate, which is really odd considering that red typically gives me trouble. In person, this is like a bell pepper red color. It's, I don't want to say eye-searing per se, because that kind of gives off that there's an orange vibe here. This is straight red goodness. It's beautiful. Medium to deep skin tones. This is another one that's going to pop so good on you too. And in person, you can see that nice little gold pop there at the most extreme angles. Tyler's Trinkets, Let Me Speak to Your Tanager, is a bright turquoise to teal base with black microflakes, gold to green crystal chameleon flakes, gold to green aurora shimmer, and aqua glow in the dark pigment. This one is a similar formula to the previous PPU shade Reanimated, inspired by the brightly colored green-headed tanager bird found in the tropical forest. I am so sorry if I said tanager incorrectly. I'm a microbiologist, not a bird person, but anyways, this one's $12.50, capped at $2.50, and it has a ridiculously smooth, beautiful formula to it. This is another very flattering color, and I'm going to suggest 3 light or 2 normal coats. Personally, I like that 3rd thin coat, in my opinion. I thought it popped the best against me, and a good glossy top coat. Zombie Claw, I Like to Move It, is a nude base with electric blue-green shimmer, black flakes, and a little bit of silver reflective glitter. This one's inspired by King Julian. Price is $13.75, and there's a cap of 300 bottles. This has a lighter type of formula to it. I do think it kind of flirts a touch with being a somewhat sheer finish overall. I think you might want to use a blurring base depending on how you want to wear this at 1 or 2 coats. I thought 2 coats was just enough because it is quite plumping on the buildup here, and you'll want to use a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat together. And we're going to wrap this up with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. So because the Will It Topper segment on my PPU videos are so long, I'm just going to spare you all my repetitive opinions here. I know most of you following along for this segment itself, so if you're here, you probably know what I'm going to say about each of these. So story time. We're going to talk about my new camera. This new camera is going to be recording in 4K. The one I currently use right now is a Nikon that records in 1080. And so far, I enjoy the content I produce so far video-wise, but I'm so excited to do 4K. And apparently the color accuracy with this new one, it's just supposed to be bananas with what it does, right? So I ordered it and it was supposed to come in, and it came in a little bit early. Last Friday it came in. So I was like, okay, great, because my current camera is 100% dying on me. It's erroring out. It is not saving some things, and my lens, both of them are pretty busted. If you saw it, you would laugh. It's taped together. It's awful. But I can kind of get it to work, and sometimes I have to redo things, and so it takes me so much longer. So I decided, okay, it's going to come in on Friday before polish pickup is due for photos and whatnot. And so I just kind of like waited a second, and then when it came in, I realized, oh, the kit that I ordered did not also come with the charging station, the dock, and the battery. And so I ordered that, Amazoned it real quick the next day, and then it came in and I realized that the lens I got, the threading was wrong too. It was one thing after another. Ordered the new lens, and then it was delayed, and then several days later. So all of these due dates were here, and of course this all happens in like one of the most busiest months of the year thus far, and there you go. So I'm super stoked that hopefully in the next, I don't know, fingers crossed, week or two, I can really sit down with this thing and just use this beast and the magic that I know I can create with it. But oh my gosh, moral of the story, I don't really have one in terms of like how I bought the camera, but because there's no way to change that in terms of like the kits you can buy and different package levels and whatever. But moral of the story, I'm going from a Nikon to a Sony, and I don't know, I'm kind of kicking myself because learning a whole new brand of camera, it's quite different. And this one is just, it's very different. So I'm going from a DSLR to a mirrorless camera, and it's just like, I don't know, it's bananas. I'm beginning to like question my sanity as to whether or not it was a smart move to completely change the brand. I don't know, but I know hopefully after, this next week of spamathon videos and whatnot, I can sit down and really learn this camera. I don't know, positive vibes, I guess. We can do whatever we put our minds to, blah, 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 all that stuff. But it's certainly been a learning experience, not even with the ordering situation and the batteries and then the macro lens and all that fun stuff. But I'm just realizing like maybe I'm an old dog that can't learn new tricks. Give me some good luck. And I'm hoping the content I start producing once I get that camera up and running is just going to be so magical. We'll see. And maybe it'll be even more color accurate, and maybe reds won't be so freaking awful to me anymore. So to conclude this awesome video, I have the non-polished items to show you all. I have 3 of them, actually. You all saw one of them already. We're going to start in alphabetical order. First one is Baja Blast Cuticle Oil from BCV Lacquer. It comes in this black box here, and these are the behemoth pens, as I call them, and they are 6 milliliters of cuticle oil. And let me open this up here. They usually aggressively spray out at me when I use them. I think it's just a me thing because I tend to aggressively push the button, which is how I tend to handle things in real life. Baja Blast, we're going to see. Okay, you see, that's what happens when you don't angrily, aggressively push that button. It doesn't come squirting out at you. Okay, here we go. It smells like Baja Blast, which no, duh, but It's definitely got that Mountain Dew kind of effervescent scent to it. And it's a bit tropical. It is very, very pleasant. I think this one might have to move up to one of my favorites from Brittany. The official description scent notes to this are lemon, lime, fizzy pop, coconut, grapefruit, and sparkling effervescence. So, I mean, that's it. If you like soda pop type smells, especially, oh man, that's really good. It makes me want to go to Taco Bell. Grab this. It's awesome. They are, I mean, I have huge hands. You know, you can see how big they are. They're all over the place. I have them in my nail disc, in our van. I have some in my purse. I have it in the diaper bag. These are fantastic. 10 out of 10. Recommend if you are wanting some cuticle oil. They are, I don't know if you can see that. I finally did some nail maintenance on myself, and I put some clear coat on, and just to kind of help grow out a free edge, because I would like to start polishing my nails again, and maybe move away from the falsies eventually. Maybe they make me feel pretty, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. So we'll see. Next, I'm getting ahead of myself. Next, we have from KB Shimmer their Sugar Scrub in one of my favorite scents possible. I'm a big bakery lover, but I'm also a huge coconut lover. And open it up here. This month, it is more of a regular, I don't want to say natural, I guess natural sugar scrub color, but it is, it's got little pink going through here, and there's some green too. It's really cute. This week that I'm recording, my camera busted, and that's why you're seeing a different camera that I'm recording on right now. This isn't the permanent camera. Permanent camera arrived. I ordered it in a bundle deal, and my battery wasn't in there. I'm so scatterbrained. So at the time I'm recording this face video, I have not done my polish pickup swatches. It's great. Everything is just great. Anyways, the sugar scrub is so good. This is it's like straight fresh coconut, and it's got a bit of a sweet scent to it. Like a cool coconut. Like it's like a almost spa-like, but it does have a fresh coconut meat smell to it. It is wonderful. Like a coconut water with a touch of something extra to it, touch of clean to it, but a clean type of sweet, if that makes sense. If you're new to sugar scrubs, you can use these in the shower. You can use them on your feet. You can use them on your hand as like a 30-second manicure type thing. And then you can also, kind of do an at-home pedicure if you wanted to. And I use mine in the shower. If you do, it is very, very heavily oil-based. I know you may or not be able to see that on this camera, but it is very heavily oil-based, and it will leave your tub a touch oily. So make sure you're really careful, and you just kind of rinse off your tub really well. There's that. Also, if you do use it in the tub, make sure you're not getting water inside the jar either. It can kind of make it a little sludgy. It'll still work, but not as effective. So just little fun things and tips and whatnot. And yeah, this month it smells awesome. I'm probably going to use this one this weekend. It reminds me of Sonic's blue coconut slushy smell, if I had to say it. That's what it is. It's like a blue coconut scent smell thing. It's really nice. 10 out of 10 recommend this one if you're a big coconut lover like myself. As for the Glisten and Glow cuticle oil pen, you all saw me review this earlier on in the video when I was doing the swatching portion. Glisten and Glow has their duo. So you're seeing this again. This is the cuticle remover pen, and this is the cuticle oil pen in the scent Tropical Vacation. So I purposely did not use my left hand for oil smelling. Let's see. There we go. You can kind of see it. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a little bubble. You're basically just kind of twisting to get the product up into the brush part. There we go. Okay. Let's put some on my thumb here. Moisturize, moisturize. Let this be your sign. Have you put cuticle oil on today? Let's see. Tropical Vacation. I'm getting citrusy, sunny type of smell to it. It is tropical in a heavy citrus type note, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's very pleasant. This one in the duo is a 3 milliliter pen size, and it also comes with the, I think it's 3 milliliter. Double check myself. 2 milliliter, excuse me. It is 2 milliliter, and it also comes with the cuticle remover that you saw previously. You need cuticle remover. This is so important, especially those of you with natural nails. It helps clean up and stuff, as you saw previously on the swatch portion of the video. Polish Pickup opens up for official wish listing starting Sunday, April 27th, typically around afternoon-ish time, Central Time. And you can get in there, make an account, and see all the goodies that are up for offer this month. And the site is going to open for official shopping May 2nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to run until 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, May 5th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. I will link you all below to both Facebook groups, and I will also link you to the official site if you want to get in there and have participate for voting for August's theme. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment to enter my giveaway. Thank you so much for watching.